Right, here we have tartar sauce with homemade mayonnaise. First things first, I've cut my lemon in half, fairly obvious, and put that to one side. I did this because a lot of people have said surely you can't make mayonnaise without all that little drizzle of oil and all that sort of thing. This is just to prove you can. Because it's tartar sauce, I've got some mini gherkins, or also known as cornichons. I'm going to get a few of these out. Not an elegant way of doing this. I tried stabbing down, but it just didn't work. So here we go, a few cornichons. Pop the jar out of the way. Lid back on, because I'll probably knock it over, knowing me. Now we've got some capers to go with it. Again, no real easy way for this. Just fish them out, pop them on the board. Keep them to one side. Mental health issues, they probably don't require exactly the same response. And therapy or medical intervention. Now I've chosen to use an echelon shallot. To be honest, you can use red onion. I probably wouldn't use white onion. It's a little bit harsh. Shallots are ideal because they've got that mild oniony taste, little bit of sweetness, and it's not too bad. So I've topped and tailed the shallot. Need to change my knife. There we go. Split down the side of the shallot and peel off the outer layer. And put it into the hands of government appointed specialists. A specialist was the word that he used. And of course GPs are stretched and they don't have enough time. Okay, now you get to see my my attempt at knife skills. Not particularly great, but at least I've still got all my fingers, so it can't have been too bad. Shred it down into juliennes. I'm going to do this on both sides. To deal with a person within their community who is in distress and thinks that they might need time off work. Incidentally, sorry about the background noise. I didn't think to turn the radio off when I did this, so we've got the radio going in the background. I have turned the soundtrack for that down a bit. There we go. Shred this and chop this fairly finely. Minding your fingers. I should really have tucked the ends of my fingers in, but there we go. I didn't. Okay, move that to one side. The question becomes, who are these specialists? And do the other half. What they mean by that is people like the DWP employees who currently decide if you are entitled to PIP or universal credit. Okay, and twist and chop. Through that process will tell you how frustrating it is when the person deciding whether you are fit for work doesn't have sufficient knowledge of different disabilities and different illnesses and the symptoms of those. So that's why I said I wanted to hear from Push the shallot to one side. If you are a GP or you have recently been through the process of trying to claim and now chop the cornichons. We need to hear your story. Or in fact the capers first. There's no reason why you can't chop the capers and the cornichons together. I just wanted to keep them separate, mainly for the purpose of the video, and also just to show I can be tidy if I want to. Not that Jill will tell you that I do that. Okay, line that up, chop the cornichons. I actually quite like fairly big chunks in my tartar sauce, so I've not minced this. I've sort of chopped it and left it in fairly big chunks. You'll probably see that actually prepping all of the vegetables ready for the tartar sauce takes longer than actually making the mayonnaise. And I promise you, making the mayonnaise is really, really easy. Okay, scrape down the bits on the knife, and all prepped.
move that to one side. I haven't got a lot of room in the kitchen, so I've had to put this behind us. There we go. Now we need the jug. Now I've used this jug because it's about the right size for my stick blender. That was an egg I just took out of that bowl because we're using 2 eggs, just separating them. You can either do it with the shells like I'm doing here, or what I'll often do is just run it through my fingers, to be honest. As you can see, I've got it all over my fingers anyway. So right, egg yolk in the jug, and now the other egg.
It's 7:17 and let's get straight to your calls on this. Singh has called from Birmingham. What would you like to say?
Trying not to break the egg. Obviously keep the egg whites. You can either freeze the egg whites, which is what I sometimes do, or I should say this is lemon that I'm squeezing through my fingers. I did actually buy a nice lemon squeezer, and to be honest I find it's just as easy to just run it through your fingers, not least of which because your hands smell lovely afterwards. Okay, yeah, so the egg whites, I'll often freeze them until I've got enough to make meringues, or if you need to do like breadcrumbs, if you're going to egg and breadcrumb something, egg white's just as good as anything else. I have known people to make an egg white omelette. Personally, I can't see the point, but there we go. Okay, so now the reason I'm not on shot at the moment is just getting a spoon, because we're going to pop a bit of mustard in. Now this is from Tesco's. It's really nice mustard actually. It's Polish mustard. They do a hot one and a mild one. This is a mild one, but you can make this with any mustard you like. I've used whole grain mustard, that's fine. English mustard is really nice, Dijon. But this Polish mustard is a really reasonable price. It's very similar to German mustard in flavour. Very nice. Okay, a little bit of, I had to turn the video off and on again. Now we're going to put the oil in. This, for the 2 egg yolks, it's just 1 cupful of oil. This is my oil dispenser. Obviously take the lid off, otherwise it'd take ages to drip out the spout. You'll see my clumsiness in a minute. There we go, a cupful. I know it's not quite to the top, but that's fine. There we go, there's me being clumsy. As you can see, it's all in one, no little drizzling or anything like that. Wipe up the mess. Pop the oil to one side. And here's my stick blender. It's just a bog standard. I think it was about 25 quid from Tesco's. It's nothing fancy. Just put the stick blender right down to the bottom, turn it on and move it up and down, as you can see, for about 10 seconds maybe. And now, believe it or not, you've got mayonnaise. Give it a good shake. Take the shaft off now because I want to get the last little bit of mayonnaise off before popping the end in the sink. Okay, there we go. Trying to show you, I'm trying, my new tripod for the camera is not brilliant, so I just wanted to show you what it looked like. Give it a bit of a stir just to make sure it's all incorporated. There we go. Obviously you can use this mayonnaise for whatever you like. I do sometimes add a little bit of salt, but because this is going to be tartar sauce, I didn't bother this time. If I'm just doing it as mayonnaise, I'll put some salt in. So scrape in the different bits of, that's the cornichons. Most of it goes in the jug, some of it on the worktop, but there we go. And finally, the shallot. There you go. Okay, all in. Chopping board in the sink. Good stir. Nice mix. And then finally, there we have it. Homemade tartar sauce with homemade mayonnaise. As I said, really easy. Thank you very much.